Okay, got my studio phone. Yeah. Thank
Grandma.
you. Fremont. Okay, yep.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able. You are now in the host queue.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bring me on in. Bring me on in. Let's get rock and roll. Bring me on in. Sister Conrad, you got some indigenous people coming on in with us.
You are now off the host queue. You are now in the host queue.
Fremont. Oh, heads up, eyes open, the fist clench, y'all.
Bring you in?
Bring me on in.
Right on. Okay, bring him on.
Fremont. Fremont. Heads up, eyes open, the fist clench. Y'all know what this is. Now we do this. Welcome to another episode of Fremont Radio. Here, intellectual radio, the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history. Let's get locked and loaded for another episode, y'all. Calling them going to be at 929-477-3785. Again, calling them going to be 929-477-3785. I guess make sure let me know if we got any. Yes, I can do through. Yep. Okay. I ain't got okay. I'm trying to get me moving around. Y'all forgive me. Cool. Okay, Friday, Saturday, tomorrow evening. Okay, yeah. All right. All right. Forgive me, y'all. What is Facebook at? Okay. If y'all don't, okay. If y'all tuning on Facebook, I'm gonna come out of Facebook and man, I need y'all to spread the word. Come on in here on YouTube Live. Chairman Fred Jr., Chairman Fred Jr. on YouTube Live. Welcome to another episode of Fremont Radio, hosted by yours truly, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., Robert Allen, aka the Lady of Rays. Let's get locked and loaded again and make history, take history, tape history, y'all. That's what it is. I get that number. I'm gonna give it out once again. 929-477-3785. Then press 1 to get in. Comrades, how y'all feel? Y'all, everybody here? Okay, who wants to sit in with us? Give me two people, two guys want to sit in with us? Is enough room? How many more people we got in here? Is enough room for everybody else? How many people? One on each.
Yeah, they could.
Huh? Okay. Okay, we can switch up. Yep. Okay, grab a seat. Okay. Is everybody cool with everybody else in there? Okay, all right. This our cameras right here. Bing. Do me a favor. Who on Fremont, y'all bet with us. I'm trying to I moved too fast, I can't find an iPad. Are you on Facebook? Y'all on Facebook?
Oh, I don't have Wi-Fi. I have Facebook.
You don't get you
We have
Wi-Fi here.
There's Wi-Fi here?
Yeah. Okay, watch that camera right there. Y'all, you good? You good? Yeah. Okay. You on Facebook Live? Can you go live and tag my page?
Yeah.
My page is
Ellen, are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I could do that.
okay. You got it.
What's your Facebook page?
Damn. What's my page? Somebody Fred Hampton. They shut the other one down. Okay, Fred Hampton. Y'all bear with us, y'all. We just coming in. There's a conference just rolled in. I'm trying to attempt to give them some of the same hospitality they provided us, which man, hey, we still have not landed yet. We're still riding. As Chairman Fred would say, hi up the people, y'all. Again, a lot of updates. We good? Okay, y'all better. What we're gonna do is on my Facebook, I'm gonna be tagged on Facebook. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna go Instagram. So bear with us, y'all. Or as we say, cub with us. The Black Panther Party cub with us. I ain't got my coffee, but we gonna make it do what it do. Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Are we good on Facebook yet?
I'm just now tagging you. Sorry,
No, it's all good, all good. Leave it to me. We'll be using 2 tin cans of string with this technology. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. A lot to talk about. A lot is happening. Tense times. We moving and grooving. The PSA's updates. Since the representatives over there out west on the west side of Chicago, got worried about this past was Halloween night a few nights ago. The 14 shot, including a 3-year-old child. So as we get updates, we'll keep y'all updated. You know what I'm saying? This is again. We say we dying by design. I'm using that term dying loosely. Straight genocide going down in Chirac and every other place. For those who have not heard, referencing the shooting, the mass shooting on the west side of Chicago, which 14 people were shot, including a 3-year-old child. And we keep you updated on the well-being of those. And as Assata Shakur said, in regards to being oppressed, you have to struggle not to become used to being oppressed. So the Angel Dickinson, let me love and respect. I got the word. I got some updates and some situations that you're dealing with in regards to your family. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to extend our Cub condolences, Cub and community condolences to you. Keep us abreast on any service or what have you. As we say, the people's pain reflects. And I commented a while ago. I was going past a funeral service and it was real stoic and cope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's like routine, and we can't get used to this. We can't get used to this, y'all. Real talk. In the words of Marvin Gaye, this ain't living. This ain't living. So again, we'll keep y'all updated in regards to that. When I said also, everything is political. I know there's a lot of discussion going on too in regards to the young brother with the group Migos Takeoff being murdered. You know what I'm saying? And and our people want to regulate it to these discussions. Was it just hip hop? Is it just rap? Or is it just the street song? Everything's political, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got everything from the sort of chemical biological warfare, aka fentanyl, etc. That's inside our communities. The mass shootings again. This is done by design. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, so here come Chairman Fred. He always want to, blame the white man or blame the government, and we do. So I'll be keeping you, know what I'm saying? So feel free, if you know what I'm saying, you want to call in your thoughts on this in regards to, and let's do some research. Let's start checking the quote-unquote coincidences about, the insurance companies and what record companies, the benefactors of these artists, you know what I'm saying, rappers, when they come up murdered. Because as a criminal psychologist said, the first thing you have to look for on the crime scene is who benefited. That's the first, you know what I'm saying? And again, we look back, you know what I'm saying, historically with the music industry, the movie industry, different dynamics, you know what I'm saying? And there are certain correlations you can tie to the streets, you did? So we gonna talk about that also. Also, as I just mentioned, also just coming back literally just coming back, you know what I'm saying, from a phenomenal mobilization in regards to, on Facebook, yeah, right on, yep. That on Facebook. Those who are familiar with the work of the Black Panther Party Cubs are familiar with the ongoing Real Deal Rainbow Coalition. The Rainbow Coalition was authored by the Chairman Fred Hampton, in which one of the major characteristics of that coalition is respecting that of self-determination. If you follow some comrades in particular, Conus Manuel, who, as we mentioned before, her Chairman Fred when he was in Canada, prior to him being assassinated in Canada, the opportunity to meet her father in Canada. And it was quote unquote so-called Canada. We won't be politically correct, you know what I'm saying? Because again, contrary to a lot of propaganda and a lot of incorrect narratives that are put out, that you know what I'm saying, there's still resistance happening. You know what I'm saying? Indigenous people are still fighting for the land, still challenging the pipelines, the mining, aka the raping and gutting of the land. And I know we hear these terms, it kind of seems like abstract, like okay, you know, water's gonna be here, land gonna be here, so on and so forth. And I tell sometimes people don't want to have these type of discussions until it literally hits their front door. But it's the impact, you know, so wherever you go, you know what I'm saying. We cannot afford the luxury for the ruling class, or whether it be straight out white nationalists or white left representatives, you know, using terms like climate warming, so on and so forth, and want to engage in pillow fighting with these issues. You know, so there's real deal resistance happening. You know what I'm saying? And putting this correct context, how it impacts us. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, it sounds cliche-ish. You say, well, what you eat impacts you. The land, if the land is harmed, it harms you. It becomes cliches. But this is I mean, it's some real deal dynamics. You know what I'm saying? That the indigenous community, you know what I'm saying, in particular, has been challenging. And we've been, you know what I'm saying, and also we've been working at the coalition in Dead of God's Dead of political prisoners. Cases of Mumia Abu Jamal, Linda Peltier, Orlando Wiley, and the list goes on and on. We attempt recognizing that, as Minister U.E.P. Newton said, our people do not read as much as we would like for them to read. And as organizers, we attempt to be innovative, you know, so getting people involved in the work and an idea. Comrade Kanu was talking about this phenomenon about the indigenous tattooing, the tattooing. It's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon, and those in the African community also can relate to it too. The whole dynamic about tattooing, and anything that's a phenomenon, we say in the interest of gaining, fighting for power, as Minister U.E.P. Newton said, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in desired manner. Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in desired manner. Case example, you know what I'm saying? According to there was the phenomenon, the ghost dance, that subsequently became outlawed. You know what I'm saying? The colonials had outlawed it, but they seen that the indigenous community had took it and utilized it to work in a desired manner. You know what I'm saying? Reverend Nat Turner had took the church, which was a phenomenon, defined that phenomenon, and made it work in a desired manner. You see, with Chairman Freire in the city of Chicago, in a city that was, for all practical purposes, one of the most segregated cities in the country, he defined the race and class contradiction, defined it up the ante, and made it work in a desired manner. You know, what we came to see, the Rainbow Coalition. We got some comrades that touched down here. They've been moving and grooving on the road. They touched down. The energy is still in high from there's a tattoo gathering. They're from different parts of the country, and they youngsters too. So I can say that, you know, and it was not just youngsters, youth at this event. You know what I'm saying? Again, it transcended this mobilization transcended geographical, gender, and generational lines. In other words, you have people from all walks of life there. We had, you know what I'm saying, capital P, Savage Family, we had artists. And we, mind you, put this in context, we still riding up the momentum from the annual Chairman Fred Street Party. We just had this August 30th. So we ain't landed from that. You know what I'm saying? So we bounced up, went to Oakland, California, the opening for the Dr. U.E.P. Newton Foundation. Bam! You know what I'm saying? This week, you know what I'm saying? Think we about to catch our breath. We moving over here, you know what I'm saying? We own the land until getting it in. So it's been phenomenal, y'all. It's been phenomenal. And people say, when you gonna get some rest, Chairman? I just got a word now. I'm waiting on the call to come in now. And if a call comes in, bring them straight in, because we're expecting calls to come in from the Alabama prisons, also from Cook County Jail. So people say, when you gonna slow? I can't. It's what Chairman Fred would say, "Damn it, man, you did." We are too proletarian revolutionary intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated. In other words, we are too high up to people to be shook up, y'all. I'm gonna come up this. Are we good on you on Facebook?
Yeah, I couldn't tag you.
You couldn't tag me because we're not friends on the Facebook.
Yeah, I added you though. And
You added me?
yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna see if I can. Good. If I What can happen? Parisa, you good with this technology. What can happen? You on there, okay, I'm on Facebook now. I want to come out of here and hit Instagram. Can you still make sure, what's the best thing? You know, so you, if I come out, I can add her as a friend, but I want to make sure I want to get all outlets possible. I'm on YouTube. We on YouTube Live also. Make sure y'all subscribe to this page too. Chairman Fred Jr., Chairman Fred Jr. Subscribe to the page. I'm gonna come up out of here. Let me know, Paris, what can happen. You know what I'm saying? If you can do this of one of these other outlets too, and if maybe you can tag it. Let me know if that can happen. Okay. All right, come. I'm gonna go on Instagram. I want to make sure we get Instagram also. So, Paris, can that happen? Can you still watch it off? Can you take it off YouTube Live and you make sure you get on my Facebook page? Yes, no, maybe so. Well, in the meantime, between time, y'all, we moving and grooving. Got some guests in the building. Oh, we gonna talk about also the magazine. The brother, he should be calling in too. Madiba magazine. Guess on the front page. We're talking about that. Matter of fact, I got some stops I got to take y'all through. Have y'all been by the wall yet? Have y'all seen this wall yet? No? Okay, I gotta make sure I take y'all by the wall. Yeah. And forgive me, y'all came in. I ain't gave them half the hospitality I was showing. Y'all ate on anything? Y'all show? Y'all okay? Let me catch my breath, y'all. Okay. So you okay? Good. So please, I'm good. So I'm gonna come up out of this. I'm gonna hit Instagram. Make sure you get it on Facebook. All right, y'all. Okay. So make sure you tag it on Facebook. Free them all. 1 second. I want you to get if you know who we got here. I ain't got my coffee either. I'm slacking. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll turn you around. Yeah. Turn around. Okay. Okay. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to Freedom on Radio. Welcome to Shy. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know we just seen each other. We still riding the momentum. Who we got in the building?
My name is Philip Ironshaw. I'm from the Oglala Lakota people out of Pine Ridge, South Dakota.
Right on. Welcome.
My name is Carson Oroik. I also come from Pine Ridge, South Dakota, of the Oglala people. Been an IOIC member for about 3 years, and I'm just happy to be here.
Right on. Well, again, I just as I stated, I'm still riding. We got a full house in here, y'all. You let them know, anybody want to feel free. You want to shout out anything in particular organizations, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You're with on any particular campaigns, feel free. Give us a heads up. Give us, man. I know I'm gonna miss something because you know what I'm saying. Give us a little bit your background and then take us to this event that was just convened. Give us your insight, your thoughts on it.
All right. Well, so I work with the International Indigenous Youth Council Oglala Lakota chapter. We've been doing a lot of different projects within our community throughout the last couple of years. Our organization started out in Standing Rock when we were out there fighting against the Dakota Access Pipeline. And so over the years, we just kind of been working and fighting pipelines, fracking, fighting for clean water to protect Mother Earth. And so the recent projects that we've also been working on, and so is what we're working on is fighting for clean water in our homeland, Rapid City. They're currently doing gold mining projects up there, and even some of the old gold mining projects that they leave toxic pits in the ground, and so these toxic pits end up leaking into the ground and getting into our aquifer and poisoning our water. And so that's one of the big projects that we're facing now. And then so what we're doing also is that we've been fighting a lot with the residential boarding schools that are on a lot of our reservation schools were funded by the government and they were run by the church. And so these boarding schools would take our children and assimilate them and try to make this try to kill who we are and turn us into what they wanted us to be. And so now, through all the trauma and abuse and killings that happened at these boarding schools, what we're doing is we're stepping up and trying to get all the children back that they abused, raped, murdered on these facilities and buried them there. And so that's one of the big projects that we're doing right now is trying to get our children back. And then also this big event that we're doing now. So why we're doing this is because I can't remember how they got the artifacts, but so what happened was in 1890, the federal government sent their troops into the 7th Cavalry into our reservation, and this was back whenever our people were fighting with the government nonstop. And so they ended up sending their troops into our community and surrounding our people in the place known as Wounded Knee now. And so they surrounded us, they like herded us like, like sheep, and then they were gonna disarm us. And I can't remember what we were doing. Were they gonna move us? Yeah.
It's 1890.
Yeah, 1890.
Before you go into more detail with that, I'm trying to get my bearings, my memory correct on a few things. Okay, you said some terms, fracking, pipelines, and I know it was under tenure of former U.S. President Trump. For those who are not familiar with these terms, give like in layman's terms, what's fracking? What's and challenging the pipelines, and explain to us what is that?
Fracking is a form of getting oil out of the ground, so that way they can send it to refineries and then ship it out to the rest of the world.
People don't understand the rock and all. What was some of the issues? Okay, like when people say like the pipeline, because some contradictions were exposed about like even the connection to Chicago, like how the pipeline, and it really. And we try to find ways to make those connections. Because like a lot of times when people look at situations subjectively, they say, okay, well, even in our own respective communities, you know what I'm saying? And I want to touch back on this also, because you both mentioned your respective tribes that you're from. And I want to go into that too, to acknowledge, like, tell us that, and a little history on that. But like, even one tactic, you know what I'm saying, that the colonizer used is, well, I'm from the south side, that's the west side, that's another situation. Or then to go larger than that, that's the indigenous community, you know, so what they got to do with the black community, or that's South Dakota, North Dakota, what is that, how does that impact? So how did the pipelines, like, what's like, similar to like other contradictions, the system is Machiavellian. It has a way of selling it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the gentrification. It's a nice sounding word. And then so with people, you gonna have you get some new Starbucks coffee. You're gonna get some nice images, and at the not really revealing the underbelly of it. At the expense of people, mass displacement of people. You know what I'm saying? And we go back even with the indigenous community terms like manifest destiny, and it's nice sounding words. But the deal is, or civilizing the natives, or civilizing the savages, these euphemisms, and we want to seize the time. We're getting the raw reality. What is it? The pipelines. What impact? You know what I'm saying? Why challenge it? What impact does it have does it have on the earth, and what impact does it have on people? And feel free if y'all can tag team out. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'll start off. Well, ultimately, like, it has an impact on at least everybody in America, if not everybody in the world. I'm not sure if anybody knows, but you can't drink oil. That's not something that you could live off of. It's not something that is nurturing to nature. Like, if you are somebody who thinks that you could survive with every single aquifer in America completely contaminated with oil, then like you're just wrong, and there's no way that I can put that can make it sound less truthful, because like think about it. You know, like it doesn't even just damage the. Think about the earth that it's also impacting. You know, the fertilization that'll never be there anymore. The fact that like the land itself will be forever tainted, and nobody can ever. I mean, like I'm not even sure if anybody can change that. Is it even possible? You know, like what happens after that? You know, like that's the one thing I always feel like people never really consider is that like what happens whenever you do get your way. You know, what happens whenever you get everything you want to do with this pipeline, and what about the people? You know, what happens after that? What happens after? That's just my ending statement.
No.
So I think one of the big things that people don't understand is that when they hear about pipelines and stuff, they don't really think too much about it. And like you said, like people don't truly understand, and they try to sugarcoat it to make it sound good. Like, oh, like you get paid really good. Like you can come up here, they'll house you, they'll pay you like $25 an hour to work here, and it just sounds nice, you know. Like, but people don't realize that like extracting oil from anywhere is really toxic because of the chemicals that they put into the ground, and also with the toxic waste that they produce through that. And then when they transport this oil through pipelines, the pipelines end up corroding, and they can end up breaking. They could leak into the ground. It can leak into the water, and it will affect the water sources that it is around.
I remember hearing about some leaks. Yeah, I recall hearing about that. Yeah.
And so when we were fighting the Dakota Access Pipeline, that was one of the biggest things because it went through the Mississippi? Missouri. So it went through the Missouri River, and the Missouri River goes from the top of the country all the way down to the bottom. And where this pipeline is located is literally at the top of the country. And so if it were to leak, it would contaminate all of that water, all the water that all these communities all the way down the river that are near it, and that drink water from it is going to be affected. And then all those chemicals in that water will affect you, affect your children, your grandchildren, and so on and so forth. So yeah, like that's one of the big reasons is why we fight these pipelines. Is not only for us and our people, it's to protect everybody else and make sure that we all have clean water and to protect Mother Earth.
Well, Wounded Knee. I think who's in play now? Who's taking? I think Andrew. I think it's the president.
I believe 1890.
I know. I'm thinking Jackson. I'm seeing this. I'm putting this in context about. Cause we talking about like, just some of the details. I think they under the auspices of the front, the colonials were saying, okay, they'll move this to another reservation or something. You know what I'm saying? Then there's also who's having a discussion with? We were talking about this. The Gatling gun. Yeah. And many people probably say that like certain guns are like for now like you hear about them historically, like the Tommy gun associated with the mafioso, the time of the mafia. You know what I'm saying? The Tommy. Also the Tommy. Speaking of which, just I thought about this. Joe Machine Gun Gorman got his nickname, his moniker from December 4th, 1969. He was on an assassination, on a hit on Chairman for Defense Secretary Lamar Clark. I'm going to take y'all about that with assassination occurred. I'm going to take y'all about that tonight also. But he got his nickname for how, you know what I'm saying, the machine gun. And then some of you probably see in these old Western movies, you know what I'm saying, this gun, they hold it, it's like known as the Gatling gun. And this was relatively new around that time. We just commented about it the other day at a Wounded Knee, where they utilize it's like automatic. I mean, like rapid fire, and this is on Wounded Knee. And we talking about that even aside from the physical death toll, just to take to imagine the psychological toll. You know what I'm saying? This is a relatively new invention, and you hearing this noise. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and they land people down in mass numbers. So this is some of the people, if they're not familiar with, you know what I'm saying, but put in context, because this is important to know for a number of reasons. One, I think it's important because a lot of times people think when they hear about certain situations that this is something new the system is doing, whether it be a new form of chemical biological warfare. But I think we should be able to connect, or correlate, whether it be fentanyl to, you know what I'm saying, smallpox, different, this the MO, modus operandi, how the system gets down. and you know what I'm saying, it's indigenous saying, say white man speak with forked tongue, different tactics, you know what I'm saying, broken treaties, so on and so forth. And even people see different how everything's political. Where's okay? This mountain everybody talk. A lot of people may hear about Mount Rushmore. Where is that in the context to where y'all located at? Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore is like 30 minutes outside of Rapid City in our community.
Can you see it from like?
No.
Yeah,
You have to go into the hills.
you go to the hills to see it.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because I was talking to somebody. We were talking about like the impact of people growing up in L.A. or seeing that Hollywood side in Los Angeles and going and like and seeking like it's a political to see this up in the mountains. These criminals, you know what I'm saying, the U.S., you know what I'm saying, they get these criminals, you know what I'm saying, these from U.S. presidents get their faces in the mountains, you know what I'm saying, in the mountains, and this is a straight affront to the indigenous people, you know what I'm saying, and so everything that like people say, what's like the symbolism, the terms we use, all that, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of people say, we flip it like as opposed to when got locked up, they were kidnapped, as opposed to what's their bond, what's their ransom, and the propaganda, like, you know what I'm saying, even terms like Indian giver, this was strategically put out like by the ruling class, the colonialists. They would say like the stuff like this, people gave them land, they changed their man. I mean, this was theft, you know what I'm saying? And then like even how the colonials flipped the script on certain terms, like the scalping. You go back and you find out how the colonials was actually doing the scalping, and it was a common practice, you know what I'm saying, for the colonialists, you know what I'm saying, like even the uterus of women, making saddle horns out of it. Like I say, and I still like you can't even fathom, you know what I'm saying. But and a lot of people say things just evolve, and someone calling in. Oh, okay, I can't click. I'm scared to click. Okay, we got one. Okay. Comrade, do we got any calls calling on 929 number?
No callers in queue yet.
Y'all press 1 if y'all call in. 929-477-3785. Press 1. You mentioned border schools. We turn like boarding schools and, you know what I'm saying, juvenile detention centers, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to run y'all past the one in Chicago also. These also some euphemisms that the system utilizes. You have boarding schools, it sounds nice, okay. But what's some of the damage with that? What's the history of like the boarding schools?
So the boarding schools were brought to our communities was a way to fight our people and to take everything that we have and know away from us, so that way they can. There's this term. It's called "kill the Indian and save the man," and so they would try to assimilate us and take away our language, take away our hair, take away our, everything that we know, and teach us English and teach us how to be a white man. And so that was the whole point of the boarding school.
Sound familiar?
It was to assimilate our people into, it was really bad. Like, the way their tactics that they would use on us was they would rip us from our families, and then they would keep us in these facilities, and they wouldn't really let us go home, and so we had to have family move there to these facilities, and if they couldn't, you probably wouldn't ever see your kids again. And the things that they would do to our children, to our grandparents in these facilities is like, it's really messed up. They would abuse our children, and they would abuse them, they would beat them, they would murder them, they would rape them, all at the same time while they're trying to assimilate us, and whoever made it through, they didn't come back the same.
They come back the same. It's something will be happening next upcoming weeks or something, because it's something that happened in Africa also. We're bringing back some stolen artifacts. Bring us to the speed on that, somebody.
So the artifacts are from the massacre of Wounded Knee.
The actual massacre of Wounded Knee, 1890. So now they some things, so items from the items are supposed to be returned back to your respective communities.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if y'all familiar with situation they dropped the bomb in Philadelphia in 1985 on the Move family. I heard that. the 1985 on Osage Avenue, Philadelphia. It was, government actually dropped a bomb on that community. And it was a big thing. It came out later on that University of Pennsylvania actually had the remains of some of the babies. This right, you know what I'm saying? It was used for class, you know. And so there's been some battle, you know, saying about what's going to happen to the remains of those babies' bodies. And I'm pointing this out to draw some correlations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like a lot of times people think these are aberrations or something. You know what I'm saying? But you go look at you study the history of, you know, even the history of of veterinarians. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how they utilize, you know, African indigenous people for lack of better terms. They say it's lab rats. It's a movie y'all ever seen called Goodbye Uncle Tom. You ever heard that movie? I recommend everyone check that out. Goodbye Uncle Tom. We live in the wreck, y'all. Free on radio here. Intellectual Radio 929-477-3785. Press 1. We are you know, talking about some of the common contradictions. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be boarding schools, the juvenile detention centers, the Cook County Jail, Alabama prisons. You know what I'm saying? The reservations. You know, with such phenomena as the ghost dance, the church, things you may take as simply with getting your hair cut, don't speak your language, and you know, as a common term they use on the reservation, at the boarding schools, kill an Indian, save the man, and for you like even when it's unconscious, you would say something like, you know, speak correct or so on and so forth, or get your, you know what I'm saying, get education, and for you, and you morph. It's a morph into something that's a mutation or something that's not, you know what I'm saying, is a walking oxymoron, you know, for lack of better terms, you know, and you talk, it produces self-hate, trickles down to, like people say, like, you know, even how you view murdering somebody. Nipsey Hussle said something to the effect that he say, you see, like, even they going when cats go on missions, you know what I'm saying? How you would get in the car, you riding past different into people in the community, but you really live with somebody who looks like you. You know what I'm saying? And to release this song, you know what I'm saying? You going and I think we wonder, where does self-hatred come from? You know what I'm saying? It just don't pop out of the vacuum. You know what I'm saying? What's embedded? You know what I'm saying? What movies are given to us? You know what I'm saying? What quote unquote education? And we want to even come on these terms as opposed to education, the training. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, say, certain dogs, like game dogs, pit bulls or something, you can train them to a point, you know what I'm saying, that human beings can walk past without any fear. But you see the people will see another pit bull, the disdain, you know what I'm saying? And you see, you know, what has happened to them to be just for this to be instilled in them, you know what I'm saying? Again, so again, we challenging the people. When you say terms like being colonized or, you know what I'm saying, oppressed, it's not just the physical aspect of that. You know what I'm saying? The ingraining, demoralizing, they're stuck in you. They can go for generations. And you wonder why, you know what I'm saying? They do tests. They did a school. Late 1950s in Kansas City, and they asked the little black children, so what's the pretty doll? What's the pretty? And automatically, they went to the white dolls. You know what I'm saying? And so you say, where does this come from? You know what I'm saying? So we talking about that. We talking, you know, so all this correlate to the murders in the rap industry, the murders in what is infamously referred to as Chirac, to the conditions right there, you know what I'm saying, on the various reservations. And you go, you say, you know, you can correlate the suicides, you know, the amount of suicides, how, you know what I'm saying, the type of the infant mortality rate, you know what I'm saying, the lifespan, you know what I'm saying. You go back and say what's one common denominator? You know, again, you see that the plantation owner, the colonizer, the ruling class. We live and direct, y'all. No callers in queue yet, sis. Alabama prison, what's going on now? I need y'all to be on. It's heated down. I'm gonna keep y'all posted on that. We got some big mobilizations happening up there. We also still go to Cassandra Greer's page, go to Dr. LaShawn's Facebook page. We still taking water. We got water. The Stateville prison, you know what I'm saying? Water and soap, you know what I'm saying? So that's some of the campaign we still dealing with. Excuse me. Madiba magazine. Excuse me. I ain't get them a coffee. I ain't get to read all the articles. I did get some of the pictures. I had one issue, my brother. I want you to call in. I told you there's a book in here that we didn't say, we don't authorize. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, everything is looking good though. But I make it clear it's a book because like we said, we don't make a difference as long as you get the information. I said I beg to differ, beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? Because again, language is political. Language is political. We live and direct, y'all. Making this, we taking this, and taping this, y'all. The shout out again to and Mickey, man, Condo's Manuel, and this had a phenomenal announcement. Savage fan got out, you know what I'm saying? With capital P, Mother Conrad, Cool, and Jerry, you know what I'm saying? It was a phenomenal ceremony in which, officially, you know what I'm saying? Officially, because like, you know, she's been around with us so long. You know, Condo's been like one of the family anyway, but officially brought her in, you know what I'm saying? And you hear about throughout history, like relationships, you know what I'm saying, with the African indigenous community, you know what I'm saying? In fact, the quote unquote founder, actually, I reference the first non-native inhabitant of what came, in Chicago, Jean Baptiste Point du Sable. And we don't say discovered because you can't discover it was here already. Yeah. But he had a wife, Catherine. He was a fur trader. He come from what is known as Peoria. And Peoria lived history on Peoria. Peoria, Illinois is where Defense Captain Mark Clark. That's where he come from. And he was also assassinated with Chairman Fred, Defense Captain Mark Clark. And Peoria, comedic genius Richard Pryor. That's where he come from, Peoria. And Catherine, that's what she was from. That's where John Baptiste Point du Sable came from. And that's when he was one of the first non-native inhabitants in Chicago. So just getting in that relationship with the indigenous community stuck out. So and like you look through periods of being colonized, there are different periods of history with the relationship, and this is a phenomenal historical move. It was yesterday. I moved so fast. It was day before yesterday. Mm-hmm. Mother Conrad, Sister Conrad Conahus, you know what I'm saying, in the family, you know what I'm saying, and it is really re-strengthened, rebond, you know what I'm saying, our ongoing relationship of resistance, you know what I'm saying, and so it was a phenomenal. I mean, the weather. I mean, like I said, I have not came down from the street party. I told we so in the Ministry of UP the revolutionaries never satisfied. So we still riding, y'all. We still riding. Y'all feel free to call in any questions or comments you have. We are live and direct with, actual real deal representatives and indigenous community. Give us a little history of when people, your tribe, where you come from again. Give us the, background. I remember one time I came with Conus. I think we came for I hate to use this term, but the anniversary of Wounded Knee. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I asked her, I said, man, so I don't eat meat, I just eat seafood. I said, man, Conrad, salmon up here? And she was explaining to me, this is the area, the buffalo. And people hear that term. Give me a little history, distinguishing that, the relationship with the buffalo, you know what I'm saying, South Dakota, y'all particular tribe, whatever. Give me a little more background. Take us there.
Well, traditionally we're known as the Buffalo people. We followed them everywhere they went, like across the nation. We did not live a single day without them providing for us. Mm-hmm. They were our ultimate providers. They gave us every single part of them, and we used every single part of them in multiple fashions. We fashioned their stomachs into water containers so that we could carry for longer journeys. Their hide was used to make clothing and home structures. They're basically the most essential part of our culture. They're, other than like our own beliefs, we wouldn't be here without the buffalo. They are us in our entirety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also with the buffalo, that was one of the tactics that they used against us, was to murder off all the buffalo while they were trying to do the same thing to us, because that was our main food source, housing. It was our survival. Yeah. And so that if you ever look up, Wounded Knee or that area, you'll see just millions of buffalo skulls laying there. Yeah. And there's a white man standing on it, and those are all the buffaloes that they were killing off, and they wouldn't even do nothing with them. They would just kill them.
Just kill them.
Yep. And so that way we couldn't eat, we couldn't survive. And even now the buffalo are still trying to come back from what the government did to them. Mm.
Sheikh Anta Diop. he had referenced when he was distinguishing the difference and differences in our respective cultures. He was we talking about African indigenous and other as opposed to that of white people's culture. He told the matriarchal, patriarchal. He was saying something to the effect that like you kind of triggered my thoughts when you said like they would they would white people even to this day you can go on social media you just see pictures of saying just white people just on top of elephants and you be like well man was the elephant was the hunter was their life in danger or they hungry no just killing them and as opposed in time what you just said also utilizing every aspect of it, the stomach, to carry water, and to keep the this held up the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? When everything, down to the fur, the clothing, as opposed to, that of the white society, it's like, okay, it doesn't even, it rapes it exploits it, it goes overboard and unnecessary, like, I think about it was a show I was watching one time, and they were showing these pigs, and they had a machine that they would inject the semen into the pig, and the guy said, "Well, the pigs, if you let them mate naturally, you would get more pigs. You give, and he said, I don't understand why you got this machine that's doing this to them. He said, because it's making a difference. The pig don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And you're not getting them any pig. And the guy was just like, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? And they would. And you go through like you say, man, it could be to our detriment in many cases. We'll be welcome, you know what I'm saying? Cause not that we can fathom what we're dealing with. Welcome, come, do it, eat, so on and so forth. But this system, I mean, every time it comes into contact with anything, you know what I'm saying? Exploit, conquer, you know what I'm saying? And this is in regards to you talking about the buffalo, you know what I'm saying? Talking about water, or any dynamic. We live and direct, y'all. Y'all, in the spirit of making history, taking history, taping history. Y'all feel free to call in a bit of as we say, feel free to cub in 929-477-3785. Press 1. We allow on Instagram. I think we on Facebook also, y'all. Making history, taking history, taping history, y'all. Free them all. Have a good time. Okay, we get some time. Okay. No callers in queue? Any announcement? Call in queue, press 1. Get any calls in queue. I'm expecting some calls from Cook County Jail, Alabama Prison, Mississippi. Some things moving and grooving, y'all. Yeah. Some things moving and grooving. Okay. Oh, man. My brother call in from Medina Magazine. Call in. Any other events y'all get? Any other moves y'all get going on? Announce?
Well, currently we're here in Chicago because we're on our way to, like we said, meet up with these artifacts that are being presented back to us, which I believe is classified as repatriation, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just think that the term is hilarious. It's just like another way for the white man to dance around the topic. To beat around the bush. To act like the atrocities weren't committed and that now they're doing something good.
Right.
Right. It's kind of hilarious, honestly.
It is. America. I mean, it's very Machiavellian. America's definition of diplomacy is letting others have their way. You gotta be very careful. You know what I'm saying? What is propaganda with, but we also have to, as Frantz Fanon has said, to be able to accept their concessions without compromising our principles. So, you know what I'm saying? We still maintain who we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because again, hey, never leave your guards down with this system, man, at all. Those who call in to the radio side, I need y'all to call in the 929 number, 477-3785, then press 1. I need you to call in on that. 929-477-3785, press 1. Any questions on Facebook, on Instagram Live, or Facebook, or live on YouTube? Let me know. We might cut out early because I gotta take these comrades to a couple of stops. before we get out of here. So I want to make sure on this. Oh, what else was? Oh yeah. Just last time I was on air with y'all. So much stuff happening. I'm gonna go out west again. Because it's this mass shooting, 14 shooting. You know what I'm saying? Put our ear to the ground over there, and things are moving a million miles a minute. So we again. So it's a big press conference. Those in the Alabama area, please make sure you be at the press conference. I think the press conference is Saturday, Friday or Saturday. Keep y'all posted. You know. No callers in queue.
No callers in queue, Chairman.
Okay, callers press 1. We might close up. Right on. Make sure y'all hit the like and share button at Chairman Fred Jr., Chairman Fred Jr. Might close out early because, like I say, I got to take them a few stops while they here in the shine. Y'all callers with some decent weather around here too. Make sure there'll be some decent weather tomorrow too, so we're gonna seize the time. Seize the time, no doubt about it. So give me that theme song on the roll out with that. We're gonna close out a little early this, so we can make these few stops. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll keep y'all posted. Give me the fast Alabama. The address where we're gonna be at is actually on today's flyer. On the radio show flyer, it's a red flyer, and where the press conference is gonna be, it's on that flyer. I can't think of here. Shoot, it's on that flyer. It's on that flyer. Yes, indeed. Upcoming dates: November 13th, marks the assassination of Spurgeon Jake Winters, who moved in defense of self-defense. You know what I'm saying? He was gunned down with Chicago police. He took down two or three before they took him out. Spurgeon Jake Winters. Also, November 28th is the birthday of Akua and Jerry, formerly known as Deborah Johnson. We will keep y'all updated on what we got. We putting together. It's November 28th, so y'all make sure y'all be on date. We're gonna get it in. Knock on wood, we have some decent weather for that. And also December the 4th, International Revolutionary Day. Yes, indeed. Moving and grooving, y'all. Give me that thing, so take me on up out of here. Take us on up out of here.
No matter where we face, we must face the moment of truth, baby. They say it's lonely at the top, and whatever you do, you always gotta watch motherfuckers around you. Nobody's invincible, no plan is foolproof. We all must meet our moment of truth. The same shifty cats that you hang with.
All right, y'all. Another episode. Making history, taking history, taking history. Here's some albums and fishes. Mr. Call, free them all.
It may hurt you or burn you. Lessons of lessons you should learn to. Let's face facts. Although MCs lace tracks, it doesn't mean behind the scenes there ain't no dirt to trace back. That goes for all of us. There ain't nobody to trust. It's like sabotage. It's got me ready to bust, but I can't jeopardize what I've done up to this point. So I'ma get more guys to help me run the whole joint. Cultivate, multiply, motivate, or else we'll die. You know I'll be the master of the who, what, where, and why. See, when you're shining, some chumps will wanna dull ya. Always selfish, jealous punks will wanna pull ya down. Just like some shellfish in the bucket, cause they love it to see your ass squirm like a worm. But just as you receive what is coming to you, everybody else is gonna get theirs too. I ain't no saint. Therefore, I cannot dispute that everyone must meet their moment of truth. Actions and reactions, don't be quick to judge. You may not know the hardships people don't speak of. It's best to step back and observe with cool, for we all must meet our moment of truth. Sometimes you gotta dig deep.